Welcome to the Diary of a Manager, your go-to resource for actionable managing tips, insights on management concepts, and effective ways on how to manage yourself. With your host, Brunello. And now, here's the show. In today's show, I would like to share with you 3 things that I wish I knew before becoming a manager. Not 7, not 10, but 3. First is self-reflection. This is the awareness that I was being promoted because I was a good manager of myself. Because if you are a good manager of yourself, then it will show on your performance and tasks that are being assigned to you, that they are being delivered on time, and you communicate with the stakeholders appropriately and on a timely manner, and then you meet your KPIs. So I was performing as an employee and performing well as an employee, and that formed the basis of me being promoted to the manager role. This path is common to happen in many workplaces. They promote you internally. In some ways, it is cheaper for companies to do that. But mainly it shows to your employer that you are dependable or reliable, you are productive and able to manage the team because you were able to manage yourself in the first place. If you can't manage yourself, there will be zero chance that the employer will promote you. And I think that's one of the key things that I had that I didn't even realize myself until I became a manager. When I started self-reflecting about my previous role as an employee. So for me, it is this one thing that I wish I knew. And you might ask why? Why is this even important? For me, it was because I needed to find a replacement, and I had to find a replacement quickly. And I had to quickly put my manager thinking hat on and ask the question, what qualities am I looking for in a professional that can replace me and maintain the level of quality of output that I was doing in my old role? So you almost have to imagine your whole team being complete with you as the manager, and you are about to put someone in that old role, and if this person has this quality or if this person doesn't have this quality, how would that impact the function of the team? And I had to quickly do a self-reflection of what things have worked for me in the past when I was doing the job. However, I had to be careful not to exactly look for someone exactly like me, because obviously everyone is unique. Everyone has different ways of doing things, on how to approach things. And I think you just need to stick to the essentials. So, for example, in my case, I had to look for someone who had a solid foundation in the area of knowledge I was working in. Because if the essentials are not founded on a solid foundation, it will eventually affect you as the manager, because you might have to spend a big chunk of your time having to give refresher course to that new employee. And you don't want to do that, especially that you are just starting out as a manager. You need someone really good to replace you that can hit the ground running with moderate or reasonable amount of guidance while you are busy learning your new role. So fortunately, I was able to find a very good replacement, and I was able to identify clearly what I was looking for. So I think the key point here is that it is important to be self-reflective, or what has worked for you in the past and what made you a great performer or a great employee. You don't actually need to look for something external to yourself. To be honest, after reading so many books and watching so many videos, I realized that the things I was looking for are already within me. You just need to be aware that you have them and being able to extract them. And I think that's the best place to start your journey as a manager. Number 2 is to identify where your team or department fits in the organization. what basically your team's role or your team's function, and also the criteria or the standards by which that performance or that function is being measured. For example, if you're an accounts payable manager, you need to ensure that the bills are being paid on time and accurately, particularly the main and critical accounts. Some small companies may merge the accounts payable with procurement, and if that's the case, then your function is also to ensure that to get the lowest or best possible price for the goods or services that are being provided to the company. For example, if you're a payroll manager, you ensure that the pays are being processed accurately and timely, and also comply with both the state and federal reporting requirements. So the processing of accounts or the pays are the function. Those are the function or the role of that department. And the criteria are accurate and timely. So, and you need to stick to this criteria strictly, because, for example, in the payroll example that I've given, if you process accurately 100%, but you're late, it's no good. And if you process early or on time, but there are a lot of errors, it's also not good. So identify clearly the function and the criteria and track them. And if there are issues, investigate why the issues happened and address them so that you can go back to your original function and the criteria of processing accurately and on a timely manner. And then lastly, number 3 is share your knowledge. Be a mentor to your team. It's funny in my case, because I started mentoring even before I became, or even I had an idea that I wanted to become a manager. I just took it upon myself to help the new and upcoming professionals in the industry, and give them a solid foundation of their knowledge and skills that they needed to perform and start out in their careers. Because when you explain concepts or principles to someone, you're trying to craft your thoughts and ideas jumbled up in your mind into an orderly or constructive manner that that a person can understand. So you're making sure that what you're saying makes sense. This exercise alone will help you solidify your knowledge. It will also strengthen your foundation. Why? Because you can think clearly. You know exactly what you're trying to explain. Otherwise, the new person will not even listen to you or will stop you because you don't make sense. So this exercise alone, it also tests or enhances your communication skills because you are able to speak clearly, and the best way to speak clearly is to think clearly. That's it for today. So my name is Rel, and welcome to the Diary of the Manager.